Because right now, you will come at me. Utanifanya nini? Utanichukia. Sawa basi. It's alright. Nitadu. Si unichukia basi. If you don't like me being myself, then maybe you're the problem. Have you thought about that? Maybe I'm letting you be you, but you're not letting me be me. Maybe if I was at my dad's house, I'd be eating today, you know? And I don't have a normal job. Like, you know, I don't actually like have a 9 to 5. So it gets so much like more difficult. You have to pay. Nobody cares that you're an artist for what? Tufanye nini? Utatuimbia? And my friend Pink that I mentioned earlier, alikuwa ameongea na Andere, director Andere, about a contract and about my music and about how we can make things, like how we can, you know, creatively do something about it.
They'll take anything they get, but without you here I'm dead. I cross my fingers when I text. Your voice keeps ringing in my head. I toss and turn when in my bed. I lie with you and no one else. I see your future in my head. But before that, would you love me if we turn into stones? Baby, would you love me if the money is gone? Tell me, would you love me if we all that we grown? When my beauty's blown, future unknown, would you love me? 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 You say you notice, lines on my takes. Now you slowly kissing on my neck. You got me soaking, lying on my bed. Today not stopping, take it all the way. Boy, you got me tripping and the time is slowly ticking. Show me what you got and now my heart is really beating. Boy, just take me down easy. And now I'm dripping wet, daddy, let's finesse and have some weekend sex. Everything is said, don't stop yet. Let's finesse and have some weekend sex. You hold me down, I share each and everywhere. And I fucking dare you to touch me right there. Unless you're scared, show me you care. No need to fear, oh boy. Yeah. I don't like being on these sidelines. Baby boy, what do you wanna do? Cause what I miss it die, those bad vibes. One more time and I'll be gone for good. You say there's a future for us, you couldn't be more wrong. And that homie really stepping up, so he won't be waiting for too long. You have so much to get together. Hisi commitment unanicheza. Told you you're moving in together. Unadhania ni mi unatenda. So much to get together. Staki mchezo, I got no time. You tell your friends I'm a pretender. Ukoko flex and I ride or die. I ride or die. Yeah. Hey. So you came in, picked up my face, was drowning in shame, and you said my name so differently, yeah. Then you held me right by the waist, no time to waste. You took we will find a way, 'cause
My name is Laika. I am an artist. L-E space L-A-I-K-A. That's my name. It's everywhere, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you'd like. I use this mask and a couple of others when I perform or when I have to, you know, do my music thing. I chose the mask because I get very nervous when I'm performing, especially. It's scary. Like kuna time I was performing to my friends and I couldn't even utter words. Nilisimama mbele ya watu and I held the mic and I couldn't say anything. I was shaking all the way to my voice. They're my friends and there was like what, 20 of them. And it was so difficult for me. It was so scary for me to, because music for me is intimacy. It's very intimate. So when I do it, when I sing to you with intent, when I sing about something and you feel something, when you receive my music, it's very intimate. It goes deeper than a lot of things, yeah. So, for the moment. That's why I chose to like mask my face so that I can eventually get the hang of it. Panic attacks, anxiety attacks, the whole works. You know, you as you practice, it's. When whoever said practice makes perfect, perfect isn't really a thing for me, but practice makes better. So you keep going every day of your life. So even when I perform with this mask, it's also a learning process. I don't know how people are going to, you know, receive it. Yeah, I could get eggs thrown at me at a show, or you know, anything can happen. It's also very scary. Nisawa, see, I'm not like exposing myself as I think so far. I'm vulnerable to people. So you keep learning on how to be better, on how to be calmer, on how to breathe. Also, I have had a problem with videos my whole life. Nilianza kufanya videos after I got signed, and we're still working on a couple of ideas in which I won't have to, like, you know, be uncomfortable. But Sia is like a great inspiration. She's and you don't have to like see a person to feel them exactly. You don't have to. Like you can hear a Sia song from miles away. You don't have to necessarily have met her, but how it makes you feel and the emotions you get from that, and that's everything for me. So I don't need to be famous. I just need to. I'm a performing artist, I am a recording artist, I am a songwriter, I'm a singer, I'm a bit of a rapper. Actually, it's a thing that people think, most people know that about me, but I do rap. I have a very good rapper friend, his name is Victator, V-I-C-T-A-T-O-R. He's an incredible person, incredible rapper, and incredible songwriter, and he taught me how to write rap music and to like do it. I'm still finding my way around that, but as soon as I get the hang of it, y'all will be surprised. I can do a lot of things with this voice, so I'm gonna say yes, yeah. I can go high, I can go low, I can be in between there somewhere. I grew up in Limuru, practically most of my life, yes, and then I moved for my music because kuna venye utaambia babangu sitakuwa mwalimu nitakuwa msanii. So I had to like move out of my hometown and make something of myself and, you know, grow and go through things. You know, every time I hear an artist say nilikuwa napelekwa Sunday school niseme poem, when they have family gathering, I'm envious. Guys, where did you grow up? Anyway, my mother passed away when I was 3 years old, and at the time I was her last born daughter, There's, I have 3 siblings. I have 2 sisters, Beatrice and Carol, and one brother, one big brother, Justin. And then after my mother passed away, my dad started rebuilding his life. And you grow up and you have needs. Things happen. So I got a stepmother. My mother was an artist. My mother was a singer. She was a choir mistress. Is that what they're called? She was a choir mistress, yes. But I didn't get to experience any of it because, but when I grew up, it was a little too difficult for my dad to understand that I wanted to be an artist. Like I was very hata nikienda shule nilikuwa najua mimi nitakuwa msanii. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm going to have to find a way. My dad did his complete best. He was amazing. He raised us. Obviously kulikuwa na scuffles here and there. Yeah, Juntenda studio, and he will not understand how his 17-year-old daughter is going to a studio full of boys to come home not pregnant, He just thinks that things are going to happen, like bad things. So he's very protective, and I understand that. But eventually, ilifika tu mahali, we did not understand each other. I had to move. And when I moved, I was 18 years old when I rented my first house. Yeah. I did not know what I was doing. Because tungeka hapo hivyo tungesumbuana tu. And atakuja nyumbani aseme ni mimi ninampea Alsas. Oh. And I love the man. I don't want him to be hurting on my account. It's not fair for him or for me. If I tried my best to explain why it is I needed to take the direction I was taking. Because according to me, this is the one thing that I have to remember my mother by. This is the one thing that makes me feel like an actual person. This is the one thing that lets me be among people. Because I wouldn't think that I should be noticed. I actually stay in the shadows most of the times. But when it comes to music, I can actually be myself and I can be present. And I can be there, like really be there and not feel bad about it. Yeah. So venye nilifeel ni kama we're not understanding each other. Imefika tu mahali it's either tuwane ama mtu ahame na hakuna venye atahama kwake, So I got out of that house when I was 18 years old, and he was very mad about it. He wanted to pay for my college tuition for me to be a teacher. So mimi namwambia, let's just meet halfway, If you want me to be a teacher, I can be a music teacher, And he's like, utafunza kindergarten. And I'm like, what? Hey, Zijo. In that time, I thank my 18-year-old self because I made the best decision I could ever have. So far, honestly, obviously kuna vitu zita happen in between and you think I could have been way better off kaningekaa kwa dad, nifanye kenye, nafaa kufanya. But at the same time, trust me, ishilingi moja ya mziki, I'm telling you, it could be, it's gonna, what are you saying? It's gonna make you feel, it makes you feel so beautiful, Yani. It's incredible. It's not even the money. I know you understand me. It's just the 1-2 little steps I make in music right now. They're everything. And they make me happy, and they overshadow and overpower all the regrets I have had ever since that time. I move out at 18, yeah? Mind you, me at sikuwa na pesa. What do you mean? Hata saizi tunazitoa wapi? I had nothing but beautiful, good friends that believed in me. I had that one thing, and it was all I needed. Because actually, I didn't carry anything from my dad's house. In all honesty, he beat me up because nilienda studio, nikarudi home. And there's no way angeamini ati nimetoka studio. He's like, ati umetoka. So he really beat me. And to him, I understand at that point, he felt like he was doing the best for me. But mwanza niko 18 bana, nimemaliza high school, bado unanipiga. Because of why? Nyodo waki. Anyway, we can laugh about it now. So hiyo siku natuko Limuru bana, it's cold. It's so cold. So the next day, I don't make a fuss. I just take the beating like a man. The next day, me I wake up and I'm like, me by the way, Zijo, nimechoka. I'm tired. Not of him, really, of the situation. I was like, nah. I woke up. I took a shower. I put on my favorite dress, and I left. I didn't even take like clothes or a bag or nah. Nilitoka tu. Naanza kurudi. Nafika Limuru town hiyo jioni, manze nimekaa kwa soko. I'm just thinking, what am I doing? Should I go home now? Sayo, nilikaa kwa soko hiyo siku. Nikifikiria maisha yangu. Kuna soko mahali Limuru. I just sat there. They were building it at the time, so it wasn't really occupied. I just sat there and I was just thinking, am I making the best decisions, really? And 7 ikafika. Na sasa kenye ilifanya nisirudi home, ni woga ya kuenda home kama nimechelewa nipigwe tena. I was like, Azi, heri nikae hapa. The more nakaa, the more nachelewa, so siwezi enda. So a friend of mine was, he had a room over there that he had rented for his business. It was so cold, but he let me stay there that night. In the meantime, nilikaa hapo hivyo na mawochi fulani, tuka ni moto, tukacheka, tukaota moto nini. Sasa hiyo mzee yako mahali anashinda, msichana kwa wapi? No, wait, I did have a phone, but I switched it off. Like I got a phone after high school. So the next day, I'm thinking I can do this, you know. So I call my producer friend, mahali nilikuwa naenda studio, anaitwa Steph, a very great guy. He had a bit of a big house. Na kuna mabeshto wangu wengine walikuwa nakaa hapo na yeye. So they let me stay for 2 weeks. And I was staying in a studio. Yani, nilikuwa nalala kwa studio. I couldn't even sleep. Like wengine wanaenda kwa bedroom, I would stay in that room, that studio room with the equipment and the piano, and I would try to make music and I'd listen to music, you know? It was so cool. It was beautiful. And I made a very beautiful song around that time. And after 2 weeks, you know, I'm like, maybe I'm taking advantage of their kindness. I should probably just, you know, leave. There was a girl who was living in that studio at the time, and it was Jackie. But kwao kulikuwa Kasarani. And she's like, my mother wouldn't mind if you came over. Kuna mali tunaweza kutafutia job. And since, you know, I also cannot abuse her kindness, I had to look for money for my own food and everything because they're taking care of me staying in their house for free. So, tukaenda Kasarani. Bishte wakatupea pesa, tukaenda Kasarani. Tukakaa kidogo. I got a job the very next day. Like, we didn't have time to waste. Kulikuwa na factory hapo hivyo kwa neighbor. Big ass factory, but for recycling. And they didn't use like gloves or anything. Walikuwa wana recycle this. There's some hard polythene bags. So you would strip them and then you would pack them with your hands. So by the time unafika home umekatakatwa kila mahali, you just have cuts. When you're showering is when you actually feel it. Most days I would just sit and watch people eat lunch on lunch break. And I'd be like, this is the life you chose. Utai kwenda nyumbani, unaweza kuwa prodigal daughter. Beshte yangu Njoroge called me and he said, no, he didn't call me. I wasn't taking calls at the time. He found me on Facebook and he texted me and he's like, nimekuwa na sistako and she says you're missing. And I'm like, what? Who? Me? What do you mean? Guys, I'm not missing. Kume dada kwa mtaa naita hadi karao ati wanitafute na makarao na mabeshte zangu wanaulizwa wakawa wameniona. So this guy texts me. He was looking for alikuwa naenda kutafuta like kuregister his community radio station inaitwa RFM, and he's like, you can come work for me if you don't want to go home, but I don't like it that you're far away from us because we can't protect you, you know, you don't even know if you're safe where you are. And he came to get me. Alikuja Nairobi. Siju Nairobi for like hadi wa leo. I still get lost. But your time Miss Rita oni wapi, you know, kijana ananiambia tupatane tao. Na mimi namwambia hawezi nikujia hadi kasa. He's like azizi kuja tao. And so kanatumia fare nikaenda tao. And then we drove back to Limuru. The whole time I'm anxious because ni Limuru. It's my hometown. I could see my dad anywhere, at any time. Na nimepotea. So this guy rents a house for me for 2,000 shillings a month. And we buy a mattress. That day, nililala kwa hoteli ya kaenda sijui wapi. Mimi nikalala kwa hoteli. The next day, we meet up. We get me a house, a tiny little single room for 2,000 shillings a month. Which was also a problem to pay. Can you imagine? Alafu, tukachukua mattress na stove and a few other things that I needed. And I started working for him at that radio station. Nobody wanted to work there. Nilimuru, hawajui community radio first of all. Secondly, nobody believes that there will be an actual audience for this, you know. So, alikuwa ananikujia every day at 6. We would go have a morning show. Alafu kuna rasta wengine walikuwa wanakuja at 3. And then after that, we would just play music. And then the radio station grew. And yeah. And then I decided to quit for my music and to keep pursuing what I actually wanted to do. I learned so much. I learned that I have a gorgeous voice. Anyway. Ilikuwa fun, honestly. Kusikiza watu wakikupigia kwa radio and they're like, hi, you know, please nicheze nini ya Shaggy. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It felt amazing, honestly. And if I was going to do anything else after this, I would definitely go into radio or something. Okay, so start with the school. Nilienda Ngarariga Girls Secondary School in Ngarariga, Limuru. Nikaenda Limuru Town Primary School, Iko Limuru. They're both public schools, but I actually get the English from animations. I watch a lot of them growing up. It happened to, I think, pole pole. Hata sijui tulifikaje hapa by the way. Ukisikia Kikuyu yangu. Yani, I have better vernacular than English. I still find myself pretty small. Like in creative spaces, I still feel very small. Like nitaingia bila mask alafu like ile time uliniona nikiperform, yeah. Actually, I didn't do much in primary school. I was always in trouble. And I was, yeah, all the time. I didn't have time for like co-curricular activities. So I was always in trouble. So watu wanaenda kwaya, mimi naosha. Kutu mahali.
Wafanya pano.
Yeah! Kila time! All the time. Sijui wewe sijafanya homework. Niko hapo nje nimenil. Agao. Yani walikuwa wananionea. What was that? Anyway, but I didn't get to do like much of anything in primary school. But in class 7, class 8, the people would like, you know, ask me to sing for them. It felt good to be able to like to feel like people saw me, yeah, and acknowledge my presence. It felt pretty good, yeah. But apart from that, I didn't do anything. But in high school, I was part of the choir. That was fun. I missed a lot of lessons and I loved it. Come at me, teachers. Come at me. But like nilienda funky za choir hadi nikiwa form 4 when it was forbidden, you know, like nobody was allowed to, but the choir master was like, I have to have her. It was so cool. And I was like, yes. I didn't even do my math homework. Let's go. Mr. Kunil Leo, let's go. Guys, I thought we went to school for fun. Mlikuwa serious ngapi? Mimi sielewi. Well, I apparently applied for School of Life and it's going great. I'm still in it. I didn't go to college. I didn't apply for college. And I'm not saying that like I'm proud of it because, you know, we all need an education. But trust me, Saizi, I'm very strongly opinionated. And I don't like what you do. Even if you just as little as winked at me, you will never do that again in your life. You'll be like, hey, well, it's because that's just the way I am. There are things I don't want to take. And who are you to tell me right from wrong? I know right from wrong. We all know, even before we are taught that it's not okay to kill or to shoot or to steal. You feel that it's wrong. But all of these other things, ni vitu that human beings have put in place for all of us to just follow. Why shouldn't I do what's best for me? If I take care of myself, I'll be able to take care of somebody else. They tell you in a plane, if something happens, put on your safety belt first before you help anybody else. Because hutaweza kusaidia mtu yote, y'all will go down. You can't help me if you're trying to help. If I can't help myself, I am not going to be able to help you. You can't help me if you are not in a position to help yourself. I always say you can't give what you don't have. I can't give you my love if I don't love myself. I don't have love. What I will be giving to you is affection. What I will be giving to you is anything but love because I've never felt it within myself for myself. It's just, that's just the way it is. Siwezi kupatia chwani kasi na hiyo chwani. You get me? Siwezi, honestly, nitadu nitatoa wapi? Lazima, like, usko hivyo. Limit ni yangu regardless, you know? You have to have it. Just be who you are unapologetically because everybody else already exists. What's the point of me sitting here and being normal and being nice and being like everybody else you've interviewed and just smiling and answering questions politely and nicely instead of me being just who I am? You should be yourself. How people perceive the things you do is on them. If you do something from a place of genuinity, if your heart is pure, if you know you're doing something right, if you feel you're doing something right, then how another person takes it is entirely about them. When you're thinking, am I being nice or overstepping, look within yourself. Don't look to the other person. Let them take it and perceive it how they want to. Because even if they react negatively, you will have done everything in your power to come from a place of genuinity, and that's all that matters. I have a friend who always says, as long as your heart is pure. Do anything you want, as long as your heart is pure. And then you'll always be happy, regardless of what happens. Hata mtu akikupiga bare, utaenda home ukijuanga, mimi nilifanya kile nilikuwa nafikiria was right. Ooh, it's okay. I could not have, you know, like been within you to see what you were gonna do. But I did it, and I took the risk, and I was bold, and I was courageous, and I was brave, and I did it. It's okay if you took it well. I'd feel good about it. But that's not why you do things. That's not why you do good things, to feel good, no. No, you do them because they're necessary, and you know it's good and it's right. That's just all you need to do. This guy, hey, you know, this guy I really had a crush on in my neighborhood, yeah. Alikuwa anaitwa Jose. Acha nikushauri kijana, alinikataa, but he's so right. He actually, at some point, fell in love with my best friend at the time. It was glorious. Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Na msichana anakaa nyuma yangu daru, you know, it was just, it's very torturous. Anamtumia letters. It's okay, Joseph, I'm fine. I'm okay. Anyway, Joseph was also an artist at the time, yeah? Like, all feelings aside. Well, some feelings, not aside. So, tunapatana na Jose. Nilikuwa na escapades za kuhepa home a couple of times, yeah? Like, in between. Because my dad, you know, we started, like, fighting kitambo. So, I'd, like, run away sometimes, stay at a friend's, come back. and they had hosted me a couple of times also. So like niko form 3 sai, nimetumwa kwa Mbera, place naitwa kwa Mbera na dad nimpeleke kitu. I run into Joseph and he's like, niko na home studio. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you should come. And I'm like, yeah. Monday? Yes, Monday. Okay, got it. So we planned for that Monday. So nikaenda kwao. Kijana amekata bucket, akaiweka hivi. Ndio booth, hataki jokes. Amekata bucket like this, and then he just put it up. It looked like this, yeah. And then in between is like cotton and stuff. Alafu kuna mic hapo ndani bila filter or like I don't know this is all of that like iko mic ya church. Ameweka hapo. Alafu na lapi na sound card. He's so proud of himself, and I'm so proud of him because this is the first studio like around our hometown. And I'm so proud of him till now because he's still doing what he started doing then. But that was the first studio I stepped into. Tukaingia, we made a song, ilikuwa inaitwa Flex. Oh, Influx. Yes, Influx. So he put the song in a disc for me to take to school. So after midterm, I go back to school. And I'm like, tulitengeneza ngoma na Jose. Hey, we got to the computer lab. Acha tusikize ngoma. Mtu alikuwa anaingia daruka na imba ngoma yangu. It was so great. It was this amazing experience. And I remember I wanted to play it for the whole school to go enter. And the matron said no. And I felt so bad. I went to cry in the toilet. I'm okay now, matron. I'm fine. I'm not crying anymore. And I'm on Spotify if you're asking. Nikanyimwa ruhusa ya kucheza diski yangu kwa shule mzima. Mimi hata sijui mbona alikuwa amejam. Ni kama mimi sijui by the way. Hakuna kitu nikani mimi nilimbo ama ni yeye alijibu mimi sijui. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know what I did to her. But I've done a lot of things to people. So, it could be anything. No, not really. It could be a lot of things. Anyway. Yeah, so that's the first studio I stepped into. The second studio is the one I lived at for 2 weeks. Like my friends, kwa Steph, Mali, nilihepa home completely, nikaenda nikaka. Yeah. But the beauty of it is, around my hometown, kina Yoda, kina Waka Waka, kina Ngash, they have their studios at home. And I don't know how this is gonna sound, but they mainly insist that you pay if you don't exactly have a good voice. And you insisting. Kuna mtu atakuja studio, ujaribu kumwongelesha na hatataka kusikia. So, hao ndo wanalipishangwa sana. Hao ndo wanakipingi the studio going. And they push their music and they do everything they can. Yeah, I'm not saying they don't know how to sing. It's just when you have a producer, it's also a mentor at the time. You listen to them. That's why you're there. If you can do everything by yourself, bana kakejani, you know. If you're not willing to listen to the person who you want to help you, then you're not going to receive the help that you actually need. So I'd go into the studios or I'll get invited. And I was so scared at first because I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to, I didn't know that I knew how to sing at the time. It was very confusing. So nilikuwa naenda studio and I was so scared. I couldn't even, nilikuwa nashinda nikiambiwa nirudie because I'm so scared of people just focusing their attention on me that I just mess up everything. But I kept going to the studio every other time. I kept learning. I kept listening. Nikaenda Ngash is a great photographer, a cousin of mine, anaishi Limuru, and he taught me how to write progressively. Like tuliko tunaenda, we just have a session, and I realized that I could actually write. It's just I thought what I was singing and writing was so basic, it wasn't good enough, and he told me simple is great. So I went with that. Even now, when I write my music, I do not stress myself about it. I do what feels right. Ninaosha vyombo, niko hapo nikiimba kama Beyonce. Like literally all the time, yeah? Like I don't even remember from what age. But I just kept singing. It wasn't so much of a big deal nikiwa nyumbani because nobody paid much attention. They just got used to it. The thing hata brother wangu ataniambia ninyamaze ninapiga kelele, you know, like unadu? And I'm like, what? Sawa basi. So I would sing, but I didn't think much of it. You know, I just thought it was a normal thing. I thought, you know, things were normal until I went to high school. Nafika Ngarariga, and my big brother is famous for his good looks in the neighboring school. And everybody's like, when does this guy just do? Oh my God. And I'm already a celebrity. Yeah. So the next school, like my brother was in that school. And then, yeah, alimaliza high school mini kingia. So everybody's like, oh my God, sister just do. So they think, all the girls think I'm gonna hook them up with my brother. You know, kwanza wenye wako form 4. So I'm just over there receiving favors from left, right, kila mahali. They were just giving me gifts. Nilikuwa na kijani, nilikuwa na class hivi, nasikia form 4 ameniletea apple or some sweets. And I'm like, oh, hi, what are these for? She's like, say hi to your brother. And I'm like, okay.
I will.
Sure. You're the 5th one today, but sure. Anyway, ikafika mahali tulikuwa tuchague clubs, yeah, you know, like debate clubs, everything. So I didn't know where to go. Wacha form 4s kada, like 3 of them came to class that day. One of them was apparently my brother's girlfriend akiwa high school. Apparently alikuwa na date shule yangu. Yani Justin. What is this? Anyway, so amademo wakakuja waka insist niende club yao. Walikuwa comedy club. I looked like a joke to them. They were using it to stay away from everybody else and do some stupid things. So lazima ukuwe part of a club. So they just made one up. So they had a comedy club. And I'm like, kila mtu anaenda debate, kila mtu ameenda music. I'm like, fuck it, sawa, see we go. Tunaenda comedy club. Nasikia ati form 1s, mnasimama hapa mbele kila mtu akisema kitu, akijiintroduce, akifanya poem. And I'm like, I have to talk in front of people? Why? So it was my turn, and then I just I stood there, and I was like, Johnny Legend. John Legend's song at the time, ilikuwa All of Me, was, you know, quite the hit. And that's all I knew. Nimesimama hapo hivyo anasema, 'cause all of me. Nikashtuka because, you know, it was just, I was shaky. But people were like, after I was done, they didn't let anybody else go up there. They harassed me. And they were like, rudi hapo, umeenda wapi? Wakaanza kunita Justo. Bele kutoka form 1 hadi form 4, all through watu walikuwa wananiita Justo. People actually thought my name was Justina or something because I'm my brother. So the next few days were wild at school. People would just walk in my class and ask me to like do lyrics for them, and they would pay me like 20 shillings. So 20 shillings ni mkate, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty sweet deal. Yeah, so they would ask me to sing for them. So nikaanza like progressively. I think that's where I knew. Because they made such a big deal out of it. That's what I mean. Like nikiwa home, it was perfectly like normal, yeah? But I went to high school and everybody just made a fuss of it. Like all the time. Like I remember kuna time kulikuwa na talent show shule and I didn't have any money. And my classmates walichanga behind my back. So mimi ninaenda kwa dining hall nikijua sikuweza kuchanga 50 bob. Kumbe walitoa 5 bob. Wakaenda wakaniregister, nasikia jina yangu kwa mbele. I'm like, what? Why? What did I do? And I went up there and I sang, and my CRE teacher cried. It was beautiful. No friend of yours is gonna make you kneel outside. Usifikirie nilisahau. That's the first step of owning up to your mistakes. You kneel outside because you didn't do homework. Do you know what life does to you when you do bad things? You just wait. Well, Yeah, if not for those moments, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be resilient with other things. You have to learn from somewhere. These are moments where I felt worthless and I cried in my room and I felt like I couldn't speak out for myself. Those are the ones that made me who I am right now. Because right now, you will come at me and I will choose not to take it. Honestly. Utanifanya nini? Utanichukia? Sawa basi. It's alright. No, seriously. It's okay. Nitadu. Si unichukia basi. If you don't like me being myself, then maybe you're the problem. Have you thought about that? Maybe I'm letting you be you, but you're not letting me be me. You hate me for me being myself, man. You're the problem, honestly. And, you know, I do make mistakes. And the same way you think I am very expressive, I also tone it down when it comes to hearing my mistakes. It takes a minute, but I listen. It takes a minute. It takes a fight maybe or two. I'll be like, what? No. And then I'll be like, well, you know, maybe you were right about this one thing and I did something wrong. And I'm like, you know, sorry. So you can forgive me and can move on. So I own up to my mistakes as much as I expect people to do the same. I mentioned that I ran away of my father's house when I was 18 years old. So I'm 22 now. This few years have not been easy. Adulting is not easy at all. There are some perks, there's some beautiful times, but inafika tu mahali unachoka, you know, you're just like, maybe if I was at my dad's house, I'd be eating today, you know? But maybe I'm gonna sleep hungry because I'm here in the world. And I don't have a normal job. Like, you know, I don't actually like have a 9 to 5. So it gets so much like more difficult. You have to pay. Nobody cares that you're an artist for what? Tufanye nini? Utatuimbia? Ebu nipatia 7 juice yangu ulipe rent ukiniambianga utaniimbia because what? Nah. So you have to do something. So let me say at some point you run out of luck. You live off people. You survive, and then you just run out of luck. So a few months ago, last year, Kiisha, I was homeless, like totally, completely homeless. Nilikuwa nalala kwa kibanda, and had friends and things like that. And my friend Pink that I mentioned earlier, alikuwa ameongea na Andere, director Andere, about a contract and about my music and about how we can make things, like how we can, you know, creatively do something about it. And just one day I just wake up from somebody's kibanda and I'm like, you know what? Maybe instead of sitting here and sulking and crying that life is unfair and waiting for somebody to pity me, I should do what I came out here intentional to do. Like I came out here to make something of myself, to make music, to love what I do because I love what I do, to keep doing it. But you're not gonna make any progress if you just sit there. It never happens for anybody. Nobody just sits there and waits for things to happen. You have to actually be intentional on it so that it works for you. Lazima uamke utengeneze kitanda, lazima ningeamka tuoge tukuje interview, you know. If not, this would not be happening right now. So if you don't take action on what you actually want to do, then the song is Buju. I did it with a friend of mine, Pink. May his soul rest in peace. He died a few months after. But it's so far my favorite song and I have loved it I have lived it. It's been amazing. So I will do that. Okay. They'll take anything they get, but without you here I'm dead. I cross my fingers when I text. Your words keep running through my head. I toss and turn when in my bed. I'm love with you and no one else. I see your future in my head, but before that, would you love me if we turn into stones? Baby, would you love me if the money's gone? Tell me, would you love me if we old and we grown? When my beauty's blown, future unknown, would you love me? Would you love